Indiana Jones is back in the gaming world once again, and EA loses the exclusivity of Star Wars and all of its brands. We're going to talk about it right here. Grace Dukes, DeMar Dukes, the whole gang is here, right here for you on Platform Gamer Podcast, which starts right now. What is going on, everybody? Thank you so much for joining us here on Platform Gamer Podcast. Once again, it is January 16th, 2021. And we about to get things rolling up in here. We are joined once again, of course, by my co-host, DeMar Dukes.
What's going on, people? What's up? What's up? I know it's been a bit of a hiatus. I apologize for that, but definitely glad to be back. You're definitely going to be hitting the ground running on this. So let's get it.
And our very special guest, once again, my daughter, the one and only, Miss Grace Dukes.
Hello.
Just hello. Well, if you guys like what we're going to be talking about, and if you've liked any of our past podcasts, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Turn on that bell for all notifications and smash that like button. The more you smash that like button, the more our content gets out there to the masses for everyone to enjoy. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Platform Gamer P1. That's the number one, not spelled out. It's just the number one. And you can also reach us on Facebook.com/Platform Gamer Podcast, where we have all of our updates and where they are put out for. So if you need any type of anything going on that's kind of like small time, news breaks and things like that, Facebook.com is where you can find most of those. And every once in a while, I'll throw out a tweet here and there. And DeMar takes care of all of the Instagram stuff. I can't do Instagram. But anyway, if you love hearing us and you just don't want to see our ugly faces, I'm talking about me and DeMar. Grace is awesome. But if you don't want to see me and DeMar's ugly faces, you can always get us in our audio form at Podbean and Spotify. Just look us up in the search engine for Platform Gamer Podcast. So let's go ahead and get the ball rolling here. Ladies and gentlemen, Indiana Jones has returned. This coming out of nowhere. Like, I didn't even know this was even happening. But apparently, Bethesda, along with Machine Games, is now bringing out a new version of Indiana Jones. Now, we don't have much detail on this Indiana Jones, but they did put out a 20-second clip or a 20-second teaser trailer of what we're supposed to be getting. Now, this is awesome news for me because I've always been a fan of Indiana Jones. I've seen all of them. Now, granted, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull took a lot of criticism. I've even had people say like the first hour of it is like super awesome, and then it just gets weird afterwards, and it's just like, this is no longer an indie movie. I still enjoyed it. I don't care what anybody else says. I still enjoyed it. But nevertheless, Indiana Jones is making a return. DeMar, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I was definitely stoked when I saw the trailer for that. They kind of panned through slowly on all the different iconic things that made Indiana Jones, and just the fact that it showed him, well, it didn't show his hand, but it showed his hat being lifted and showing the whip right underneath it. So I was like, you knew you were about to be in for another great adventure. I've been kind of speculating as far as what direction they're probably going to go in with this particular game this go round. I'm thinking it's probably going to be, I'm pretty sure it's going to play out, I'd say, something similar to like that of Tomb Raider, or maybe even like Uncharted, because I can't really see the game playing out in any other kind of way except like that, especially with Tomb Raider being such a successful series. I feel like that would be the closest adaptation that you would want to go in as far as utilizing an Indiana Jones movie, just with everything going on. And just if you really think about it, like even when it comes to like the time periods of how these take place and all the different types of people and the different locations that they travel to and stuff. I mean, it's almost like the same stuff. I remember back in the day, a lot of people wanted to see a crossover of Indiana Jones and Lara Croft for a while, and even Lara Croft and Nathan Drake on a couple of things. A lot of people were trying to fantasy book those kinds of cross-reference games, especially so many games cross-referencing nowadays. There's so many different collaborations that's been happening lately. So who knows? There's a possible chance. I mean, who knows? Maybe during the ending credits, they might even show a little teaser of Lara Croft or Nathan Drake. Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah,
but yeah, I'm definitely.
Yeah, I think it's going to be exciting. Now, this is the one key thing we want to make sure you guys remember, that this is also being put together by Lucas Games, which is part of Lucasfilms, which is owned by Disney. Now, we all know that Disney comes out with its own games and it's, and what they do. Like what was the last Indiana Jones game technically it was an Indiana Jones game that came out. It was Lego Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the last one that came out. And I haven't had a chance to play it. I've seen gameplay of it. It does look interesting. I'm not really a huge fan of the Lego games. Now, me and Grace has played Lego Star Wars together. Yeah. And that was kind of fun. So, I mean, Grace, what are your thoughts on this?
I have played the Indiana Jones Lego, and it was cool. Like, it was fun, but I would definitely play it more if I had the game, of course. Right. But yeah, but I 100% agree with everything that you guys are saying. Like, it definitely makes a lot of sense for them to do a crossover. It would be cool to have it done. And I just feel like they should definitely do that.
It would open up a world of possibilities. And I think just doing just one crossover game, because that's one good thing about video games versus movies, is that you could take iconic characters and cross them over into any game and can make it work as long as those games make sense and can work within that world. So, I mean, take, for example, Super Smash Brothers. Mm-hmm. I mean, you got all kinds of stuff going on in all of those. And that's always been a rare treat. And then you have different people coming in, even some of the racing games, let's take Mario Kart. Thank you. Mario Kart. That's what I was trying to think of. There's Mario Kart. And then even, Crash Bandicoot, when he came out with a racing game. I mean, everybody has characters from other genres. I mean, Marvel versus Capcom is another prime example. Yeah. So crossovers in the world of video games, because you can basically fantasy book it the way you want, could definitely work, especially if you put all of those things together. Now, keep in mind, there is no official release date. We've only had an announcement that it was coming. Yep. Now, one thing to keep in mind for everybody that don't know, this does not hinder, according to what we heard from Bethesda Games, they did say that this will not hinder them or backtrack them from coming out with Elder Scrolls 6 and Starfield. So that's a good thing to know, that those are still rolling out. Now, Starfield is scheduled to come out this year. Elder Scrolls 6, we probably won't see for at least another 2 years. So you can expect probably Indiana Jones, in my guess and estimate, I would say it would probably come out within 2022, sometime around 2022. So maybe towards the tail end, maybe more so earlier in the fall. I could see the Indiana Jones game coming out then, but we have no information on it. We have no release date. We don't even know what the game's going to look like, how it's going to play. We know nothing. We just got the announcement. So this is great and exciting news. Damar, did you have anything else to add to this?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I feel like now that we got this particular teaser trailer at the beginning of the year, I definitely feel that, I mean, obviously these are going to be live streamed only, but I have a feeling that the next time we possibly could hear or even see more information regarding this new Indiana Jones game is either going to be during E3 or quite possibly during the Game Awards this year. That's what my guess is as far as for that.
I can see that, maybe putting out like a little teaser, in-game trailer to kind of give people kind of a first look at it. around that time. I could see that. And who knows? They may get a sound alike. They may even bring in Harrison Ford himself to do the voiceover. That would be pretty awesome. You know, bring back a couple of original characters. Now, my big question, I have a couple of key questions about this real quick. Number one, we wouldn't know yet if it's going to be kind of a confined space or if it's going to be open world. We don't know that. Number two, we have no clue what time period this is even going to happen in. I mean, it could take place when Indy was younger. It could take place when he's older, like in the current one, somewhere in the middle. We don't know. They may just do a combination of the three. That would be interesting. Kind of giving us like our first taste of it, like when some of his first adventures, and then kind of moving on and coming up with something else. But I did hear that Bethesda Games and Machine Gun Games did say that they are looking at doing an original version of this. So it won't be any story that's been rehashed before, like either from past games or past movies. So it'll be completely original. So that's kind of refreshing to hear that they're going to come up with something new and something interesting. So who knows? I mean, the last Indiana Jones game that actually came out that actually did really good was Fate of Atlantis. And that came out for like PlayStation 2.
Yeah. Indiana Jones has definitely been on multiple platforms. I still remember when it came out originally back in 1982 with the Raiders of the Lost Ark, which was for the Atari 2600. And now, as it's transcended over the years, made by different companies, obviously by LucasArts, Machine Games, and then you have THQ. They've done some. I do have a feeling that this is probably going to be more open world. I think with more and more games being utilized like that, especially now that we're into the next gen consoles, I think they definitely want to utilize every aspect of what the true power of these consoles can do. So I feel like open world would probably be the best way to kind of bring it home when it comes to Indiana Jones.
Yeah. Oh, I just thought about something. It was PlayStation 3, not PlayStation 2. Sorry. Grace, was there anything you wanted to add to this?
See, because earlier I was wondering, I was like, are they gonna base it off the past movies or any other games that they'd made in the past, or this is gonna be like new and fresh and like starting on a new blank page?
Yeah.
I was like, because I was gonna say it would be really cool if they made it from the past movies. And I was really excited when I heard that they were even going to come out with the Indiana Jones game. I was like super excited. And I was just wondered that. I was like, are they going to make it from the past movies? Are they going to make it original? Like, I just really want to know.
Yeah, I feel you. Hopefully we'll get that information sooner rather than later. One quick note for anybody that owns a PlayStation 5, there is no guarantee this game is coming out for that. Because remember, Microsoft bought Bethesda. They bought all of their rights under their studio. So now the question becomes, is Indiana Jones going to be one of those games that's going to be exclusively on the Xbox Series X? Or will they find a way? Because we did hear that Phil Spencer said that every game that they come out with is going to be on a case-by-case basis.
That's right.
So with that being said, will Indiana Jones be one of those case-by-case based games? Or is it going to be exclusively on the Xbox? These are so many questions that are being brought up for this. And I think we'll start to get those answers possibly by the end of the year. We'll get the majority of those answered. And I think at that point, we can really start jumping into it and seeing what's going on. So this is an exciting time for anybody that's excited for, an Indiana Jones game. But what do you guys out there think? Do you think the next Indiana Jones game is something you're looking forward to? Let us know in the comments section below and let us know your thoughts on that as we continue to watch this developing story. Speaking of developing stories, that is also a Disney property. Oh my goodness. This just dropped the other day and I couldn't help but be beside myself. EA has lost exclusive rights to Star Wars, which means that now any other developer outside of EA can now produce Star Wars games. Now, this report came out from multiple sources. I got my source from IGN, so they're pretty credible when it comes to stuff like this. But I think a lot of it has to do with the decline of how the Star Wars games have done. Like the actual last good game that they came out with for Star Wars, actually two, was Jedi Fallen Order and this latest one, Star Wars Squadrons.
Yep.
But before all that, Star Wars has kind of been kind of stagnant. Like Battlefront 1 and 2 really didn't do all that well. They've really alienated themselves from their core audience by doing a lot of microtransactions, especially in-game microtransactions, which is not good for them. So, I mean, Star Wars is one of those franchises that if you branched it out, and I think they're just looking for a way to kind of branch out the franchise to see what other developers can do with it and kind of just have fun, you know, and they looking at it too as a way that they can make more money, because if there's 2 or 3 Star Wars games coming out from different developers and they all do successfully well, Disney is getting a lot of that money. So they're looking at this as this could be a win-win for us to make this amount of money and still give people the chance to be able to express themselves in whatever Star Wars game that they want to do. Now, it can go in many different directions with these type of games. Damar, what are your thoughts on hearing that EA, you know, losing those rights? Now, I want to say it was like a contract thing, but I'm not quite sure. Maybe it was something that was forced, but it almost seems like their contract expired, and by that expiration, that it kind of dispersed and was like, okay, now we're going out to other people. I'm not sure on that. So, Damar, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think that I have a feeling it was some kind of a contractual kind of situation that took place as far as for that. This is, yeah, like you said earlier, it's definitely good news for a lot of other developers out there, because let's face it, EA aren't the only fans of the Star Wars franchise. And, and taking that into consideration, I'm sure there's going to be a whole slew of different kinds of reiterations of different perspectives as far as when it comes to dealing with, especially anything revolving around the Jedi and the Sith. And I also feel that this also opens the market to different types of things where, you know, we might certainly see a Star Wars game for the Oculus. Who knows? You know, true. I know a lot of people want to push more of that VR boundary as far as for that. So a lot of people would definitely love to play some Star Wars games on the Oculus.
Give me a longer game than Vader Immortals, because like I only really did the dojo part of it, and I had such a blast with that lightsaber in my hand in VR. It's so fun. So I would love to see more games like that.
Yeah, the only thing that I think would probably be the trickiest thing would be, I'm not sure if any other developers out there would take a stab at it, but probably making another type of fighting game for it, because let's face it, Terrace Kazi was a very big bomb, unfortunately. that game was just utterly horrible. And as far as I can remember, I think that was the first and only time where someone actually attacked the fighting game aspect for Star Wars as far as for that. I have a feeling we're definitely going to see strategy games based on Star Wars. I think that would be a pretty good thing. I know there's a lot of people who are into strategy games, especially I'm thinking it might not play out so much as like XCOM, but probably something on more of a grander scale, planetary wise, as far as for that.
Now sorry, go ahead.
I was also thinking of we might even see a Star Wars iteration utilizing a system similar to like that of The Sims, or like SimCity, where you get to create your own kind of planet or civilization within the Star Wars universe and things of that nature. You know, it could be, you know. But what were you saying?
Oh, I was just getting ready to pass it over to Grace there. Grace, what are your thoughts on this?
So I will say, in the beginning, when you guys were mentioning the contracts, I would not be shocked if they were on a contract, because that's how like some people work. But I will say I'm not entirely sure on how I feel about EA losing Star Wars, but I know like all the games that I've played that were Star Wars were all by EA, so I hope it changes, but I hope it doesn't change too much.
Right.
Like
I
I'm
understand that.
like if it's like here, I don't want it to be like here and like change the things. Like
Now, I do believe that EA can still make games for you can still make Star Wars games. Like I know their Lego Star Wars games are very popular. They've had what 2 or 3 different iterations of them. So that one I'm pretty sure they'd like to keep and they want to keep going with it. But I think just having it just exclusively on one developer, I think Disney kind of seen the writing on the wall. Like, we can only make so much money and we're limiting ourselves to just one. Let's branch out and do more. Because right now, according to the reports, Ubisoft is working on an open world Star Wars game.
Yep.
So this transaction obviously happened long before they came out with that announcement. So that's just the start of things to come. And, you know, I agree. I think with some games that EA is working on that they've done before have been gems. They've been true gems and it's worked out. So, but it's definitely time for other ones to kind of step up and kind of see what they can do with a Star Wars franchise. Like I like the fact that Ubisoft is going to try an open world one. How open world is going to be, we don't know. But, you know, just kind of getting that news. And I've noticed that too with a lot of the current games that's coming out is that a lot of them are going to be open world. And the best thing about it is that every console will be able to get it. So that's really nice. So we'll see them on both the Xbox Series consoles, the PlayStation 5, the Nintendo Switch. We'll have all of those getting Star Wars games. So this is an awesome thing to get. Because Nintendo may want to step into there and be like, you know, hey, we can make a Star Wars game too. So, so this will definitely be fun. I think this is fun and interesting to kind of get this type of news. DeMar, any more thoughts on this?
As far as for talking about the Star Wars and everything else, I was kind of also trying to think about what type of storyline, like are they still gonna make them within canon wise, or are they gonna, because I know sometimes when it comes to what can sometimes make or break a Star Wars game is if, okay, are you going to pull some of the characters that have already been well known within the Star Wars universe, or are you just going to start on a clean slate and you're going to start off with brand new characters, fresh characters, still exist within the universe, but then from their perspective and how they maneuver through different things. Like, what if they made a game to where you're an Ewok and you're actually leading people? I mean, what happened after the Empire Strikes Back? You know, what did they do after? You know, so who knows?
Grace, any more you want to add to this?
Yeah, I think there's like a few more things. Like Damar said, I would love if they would just bring in new characters, because like, yeah, people well know some of the people, but what if we want new characters?
Mm-hmm.
And like, I feel like that would just be like cool to just have some like new characters that you know nothing about, and it would just be cool to play with them, like just to use them during game and see what they can do and just find out new things about them.
Yeah, I like that. And that's one thing too that I liked about Fallen Order when that one came out. I mean, it was a completely new character, still within the Star Wars realm, but it was a new character, and people really took a liking to that character. It was almost like when DeMar, you remember Star Wars Unleashed 1 and 2?
Yep.
So, Grace, have you ever seen what is it? Is it Beyond Human or something human? I can't remember. It was a ghost, a werewolf, and a vampire. like all living in the same house.
This sounds awfully familiar, but I cannot think
It
of
was
it off the top of my head.
it was one that your mom watched a lot.
Think of it. I just can't. It's just not on the top of my head right now.
Okay, so I think your mom would know it better, but the guy that played the vampire on there, he was the main guy that played the characters in Force Unleashed 1 and 2 on those video games when they came out, I believe, for the PlayStation 3. But just a little fun little tidbit there. But nevertheless, I mean, like I said, they could take this anywhere. They may even blend all of the worlds together into just one. With it being open world, you could get away with doing something like that. Like if they come out with a new, like a new movie or something, and they introduce new characters. Well, it's great to have it open world because then you can introduce those characters. So that would be pretty interesting. And, I mean, let's look at it from this perspective too. What if it's an open world? I'm just spitballing here. What if it's an open world Knights of the Old Republic game? I could totally see that. I could totally see that. So, Grace, I don't know if you might not know about that one, but Knights of the Old Republic came out for the original Xbox. And it was the coolest game we ever played because you got to play as a Jedi. And and this was like before every event that happened. I think it took place like hundreds of years. I think, some amount of decades before the original movies. All of the original movies. So this took place long before that, when the Jedis were like this really huge, deal before they were like, now they're like minuscule as how many of them there are. But it was such a cool game. Like there was a lot of like RPG elements to it. Speaking of RPGs, I would love to see that as an RPG too. But it had a lot of RPG elements to it. Yeah. Yes. So I mean, the sky's the limit for these new Star Wars games. So I am absolutely looking forward to it. I think it'll be awesome. But you guys tell me what you think about the new Star Wars now being no longer exclusive to EA. And I'm hoping this will be a new thing for EA to be like, somebody's knocking on NFL's door, be like, hey, Star Wars just did it. Why don't y'all do it? Because right now EA still has exclusive rights to the NFL franchise. So nobody else can make one. And I think it's about time that everybody started making one. And it would just help generate more sales for the NFL. So I don't know. But you guys, again, let me know what you guys think about that. Tell us your thoughts and, let us know what you think. I mean, do you think this is a good idea or not? So I don't have anything else to add to this. However, I do want to talk about something. Grace, I see the sweatshirt you got on, and that just made me think.
Oh yeah, I am
super excited for the new Hogwarts game.
Yes,
Hogwarts Legacy. This is an open world Harry Potter game, and I like Harry Potter. I'm not a huge fan of Harry Potter, but I think it's really cool. But that game got me hyped. I've seen some video of some new gameplay that they showed. And this is basically Harry Potter's version of Skyrim. It's so much stuff you can do on it. And different spells that you can go to different schools and learn different things. This is going to be awesome. That's probably one of my most anticipated games for the PlayStation 5. So I cannot wait for that to come out. Grace, what are your thoughts on this game?
I am definitely 100% excited because I am a Potterhead, no doubt about that. And I just think I feel like, see, they already have made Harry Potter games, but they're just not like they're fun, but they're not as fun as it would be because, like you just said, it's gonna be kind of like Skyrim, like a Skyrim version of Harry Potter.
Yeah.
It would definitely be a lot better to be able to go to different schools and learn different things and just not like where you just stay at the school the whole time and do random things. You can go out and adventure and do just fun stuff, and I'm so excited for it to come out.
Now, another thing that I'm excited for about that too is the fact that you can basically it would be almost like a choose your own adventure. Like you can be a good wizard or you could be a bad wizard. So this will be, and then you'll run into people from the movie franchise into this game, like different teachers and other characters from the movies. I'm sure you'll run into some of them along with, the some new characters that you could run into. So the fact that it's open world and you'll be able to do all that is really, really going to be interesting. And just facing off against different creatures and doing spells to get out of certain situations, that's going to be really, really telling. And you can create your own spells. That's awesome. That's so awesome. But I'm more excited for the customization feature on my character. Like how deep does the customization go? Like, can you actually like choose create your own different wands? Can you, like you can change your color of your cape, or does it have to be your outfit as opposed to like
which house you're in?
Yeah. So I don't know. Who knows? I'm excited for it. I think it's gonna be pretty awesome.
Yes.
Damar, I don't know how you've been keeping up on any of that. So what do you think?
I know a little something about Harry Potter. I know a little something about it. I haven't filled the final boss of the game. Probably won't be Voldemort. So, I am curious to see about the spell, because if it's one thing I do love when it comes to games is anything that deals with spell casting.
Yeah.
Spell casting, I'm there. That was definitely one of the biggest things that one of the biggest draws that really piqued my interest when it came to that. As far as for that, so yeah, I'm definitely looking for it. Customizing spells, I'm there day one, no question.
Dude, I would love for this Harry Potter game, like if it does really well, which I'm sure it will, I would love for it to be in VR, like for the PlayStation VR, not the VR 1, but the VR 2. And then you can use your hand like as a little, like you're holding a little wand, and you actually have to say spells to like cast them and think that would be awesome. That would be awesome. So I don't know. Well, I don't know. What do you guys think out there of this new Harry Potter game? I know it was like not a topic on our discussion, but I kind of just threw that in there just for something to do. But anyway, thank you guys for joining us here on the podcast. It's been absolutely fantastic. Again, if you like what you hear today, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel here at Platform Gamer Podcast. Turn on that bell for our notifications and smash that like button. I mean, just really smash it like one time, just like pound on it. And make sure that like shows up. And also, you guys can reach us on Twitter and Instagram at Platform Gamer P1, Facebook at facebook.com/Platform Gamer Podcast. And you can listen to us on our audio form, which this audio version of this podcast will be on there later today. You can listen to it on our audio form at Podbean and Spotify. Either one of you, Damar, Grace, anybody have any last things they want to say?
Gracie, ladies first.
I guess it's just like questions about Harry Potter, I guess, because like I would love to be like in that experience of being Harry, but not actually Harry. So
Yeah.
It's like you have all the problems that he has, but it's not him.
Right. That would be cool. That takes a little bit.
Yeah, but I feel like if you wanted to, like, you could come up with like being a hero, or like I guess you could call him a villain. Heroes or villains, I guess you could call them. But I feel like you should be able to pick either one of those, but still have Harry's problems.
That would be interesting. I think I would actually like that. That would be interesting.
That'd be a real nice angle.
Yeah. Grace, you have a fundraiser coming up. You want to go ahead and promote that?
Sure. So for my band, we're doing a fundraiser for instructors to come in and just help us with our different sections. And we're actually having a fundraiser for cards. It's called Slice the Price. And you can buy a $10 card for Domino's, and you basically just look up your location and you basically like if your location is on there, and if there's like a close Domino's to you, like they can send it to you, but also you can use it through the whole year. It's unlimited, and basically what it is you can buy a large pizza, and then if like you use the card, you can get another one for free, and that's going to be going all the way through December 31st.
So that's good for a whole year. So now there is participating states that accept it, and there is a list on there. I will link the information where you guys can go to help her out on her fundraiser, and you can go under her name, which is Grace Dukes, and go ahead and donate it. And the cards are only like $10. So you can't go wrong with $10 on a card and then having to do it for a whole year. Just the first pizza you buy is already worth the price alone. So, so we will definitely put a link on the description below here, and we will also get those out on our Facebook channel and Twitter. So to kind of get everybody to get in on it and check it out, and definitely support this band. This is your middle school band, correct?
Yes.
Or is it just the whole school?
It's our middle school band.
Okay, so let's support her middle school band. Let's support any school project or fundraiser that's going on, because we're all in trying times, and I know things is kind of tight, kind of rough, but just helping out a little bit makes a world of difference to these kids. So, absolutely. But Damar, any last minute things for you?
I can't wait for all the Easter eggs.
Yeah, I love Easter eggs. We're talking about Easter eggs in games. It's like always like little things, like little something in games that like you're like, oh, I know where that's from. That's kind of an Easter egg. So, but anyway, again, thank you guys all so much for joining us here. You guys take care. Have a wonderfully, wonderfully good night. And we will see you all next time. Good night.